Well, we did it last night, Anthony.
We did it. It was amazing. I had a great time.
Did you have a good time?
I had a really good time. Met some really good people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, anytime you have a gathering like that, I think the people is what makes it special.
Mm-hmm.
And they were all new people to me, so you were familiar with some of them, but I thought it was great chemistry.
I thought it was great chemistry last night.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was great chemistry last night. So as you know, this whole idea was started by I was trying to think of how I could feed people, bring people together. So soup was the easiest solution for me.
Mm-hmm.
So when you were here, last fall,
Mm-hmm.
you looked over my shoulder and you saw the Bryant Terry book.
Yeah.
Immediately, like you were like,
Yeah.
I like him.
Yeah.
So when it came time for choosing soup, I thought of that book. This was a dish that my family loved.
Mm.
My kids loved this. It's from his Afro-Vegan
Yep.
cookbook, which is his first one. And it's got tomatoes. I like because the tofu's crispy.
Yeah.
You crisp it before you put it in.
Right,
I keep
right.
it separate so it kind of keeps its structure.
Mm-hmm.
And then I love it because you just so happen to be here during mustard season.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Could you taste the bite?
Yeah, and we talked about it before,
Yeah.
and I never get to eat mustard greens that often. So I'm glad you incorporated that
Right?
into the dish. Yeah,
Right.
That was really good.
So I did it in 3 different layers. What I did is I did first ones that were cooked with this, like really stewed down.
Mm-hmm.
Then I added some later. Then I added some at the end. So I had like kind of 3 layers
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
And then I took it up a little bit
Mm-hmm.
by making a peanut dukkha, which in
Wow.
this one, I know.
I love it.
I know, which is, it's like Virginia peanuts, because where am I from?
Virginia.
Virginia. So I did Virginia peanuts
Mhm.
and seaweed, sesame seeds, salt, cumin, fennel seeds, all
Yeah.
blended.
Yeah.
And then I did the smoked yogurt, which I forgot, and put a little bit on yours. But I smoked the yogurt, add a little bit of flavor.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I smoked some of the tofu and put it in there as well.
Yeah. Well, the soup was great, and it was kind of difficult for me last night because I just wanted to eat and eat.
I know. I know.
But I had to balance that with talking, which was okay. But that's just a compliment to the soup because obviously, when you think of soup, I think the first word that comes to mind is hearty.
Right. Right.
You know? So
right.
it was a very hearty soup, and I just appreciate the work you put into making such a elaborate soup for a good group of people.
Good group of people.
Yeah.
Nothing makes me happier, and I'm one of those. I love to set up for an event, but I don't like to maintain the event. So at the end of the night, most people would be clearing their bowls. Nuh-uh. I love to see the bowls kind of
Yeah.
dotted down the island,
Mhm, mhm.
sitting on tables. There's something about kind of remnants of the party. Like I guess back in college, people would have like beer cans everywhere.
Yeah.
For me, a testament of a good party is soup.
Yeah.
Bowls.
Yeah.
Oh, and then there's Amos who has to speak. I'm glad he wasn't here last night. Then, what about the bread? You got to try, so you're not from here.
No.
So I did some special hunting gathering for you.
Mhm,
I got
mhm.
the Rise Up Bakery bread, which is fantastic. And I've been a huge fan. I've been buying their farmer's market for 2 years. And I'm so grateful that Janelle from all of
Mhm.
that, carries it so I can walk and get it.
Right.
And then I got some Tortilla Manufactory bread, which is kind of a famous sourdough.
Yeah, it just made everything even better. And knowing the backstory of the bread and the company and Rise Up and what he's doing, I watched a little of his video about what he's got going on and how he got started. So I was very impressed
Yeah.
with that. Yeah, and the bread was just fabulous, and you could tell because everybody was kind of congregating around the bread every time you bring new fresh bread to the table. Everybody was kind of like waiting to add it to the soup. So yeah.
And the first time I got it was, I got 1 loaf. And then I instinctively just got a second loaf, and I'm glad because every time people have been
Yeah.
eating almost 2 loaves.
Yeah.
We have a little bit left over for our soup.
Right. Yeah. No, it
Okay.
was perfect. It was perfect. And just like you mentioned, Brian Terry, big fan of what he's doing and the work he's doing in the community and spreading the word of healthy cooking. So really appreciate his books. I have, I think, 3 of his books maybe. And the way he puts them together and talks about music and culture and history is just really great as well. So I'm glad you incorporated Brian Terry to my, first Soup Salon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have more. Another idea. When you come back, I have another person
right.
that's local I'm going to bring to you.
I'll be ready.
Okay. And then one last thing is
Yeah.
talk about what you like to cook at home.
Well, I cook pretty much every night. at home. Some of my favorite things to cook is Ethiopian food.
Oh, I love Ethiopian food.
I haven't got the nerve yet to make the injera bread, but I'm
But you
getting
can buy
there.
it.
I'm getting there. So I get the bread and then I make all of the dishes. I kind of got it down where I can do 3 or 4 things at one time and kind of bring it all together. But it's one of my favorite foods. I love the spices that they use, the cabbage dish, the red lentils, and all that stuff. So that's something I've been really getting
Do
into.
you know what? I just realized I lived in DC like 30 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and the Red Sea in Adams Morgan.
Yeah, I know that place. Yeah.
My favorite dish, and my friend Kara, who's probably gonna watch this, they made a spicy mustard accoutrement on the side, and no other Ethiopian restaurant has ever had that spicy mustard dish. So here I am, full circle, once again in my life.
Yeah.
Mustard, and I have a little bit of mustard left over, and I might do some pickled mustard.
Yeah. Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah, to add on to rice and things like that.
Yeah.
Well, you did requested not to eat on camera, so I'm gonna just turn the camera off now.
Good.
And
So I
let
can dive
you eat.
in?
Yep.
Yeah.
Finally, you get to eat, okay?
I
Bon
love it.
appetito.
And thank you so much
And this
once
was great.
again.
Here,
I really appreciate it.
We're a team.
Yep.